Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a parking garage, also known as a multi-story car park. And in some places, it's actually called a parkatorium. I will show you how to make the entire outside and inside of the car park. I will also show you how to make the easiest and quickest to build car that you've ever seen. If you have any suggestions on what I should make next, whether it is a real world build like this one or something out of a cartoon, video game, maybe even a movie, let me know down below in the comment section. What should I build next? I would love to see your suggestion. Consider becoming a channel member today and you will gain access to a cool avatar next to your name, some unique emojis, and access to my mini city design world containing every single build that has been added to Mini City to date. This is well over 100 builds, all chronologically ordered, Java edition only. Here are all of the materials that we will use throughout the build. Begin by placing 16 smooth quartz blocks on top of each other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We are then going to place 3 upside down smooth quartz stairs extending right. 1, 2, 3. Then place a smooth quartz block, 3 more upside down stairs, 1, 2, 3. Place a smooth quartz block, and then 6 upside down stairs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then a smooth quartz block. We then want to extend backwards by 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we want to extend to the right by 3 as well, 1, 2, 3. We then want to extend backwards by 16, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We then want to extend inwards by 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then up by 2, 1, 2, and then backwards by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then to the right by 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then inwards by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, down by 2, 1, 2, and then we can extend and connect all the way back to where we very first started. So, we will have something that should look like this. And I know that this kind of looks like a turtle, but we're going to fix that. We are going to take the corners of our shape and extend it down, just to kind of give us a better bearing on what we are actually building. So wherever 2 rows of smooth quartz connect together, just extend them all the way down to the ground. There aren't too many of these. And I would also recommend extending the smooth quartz blocks in between the upside down stairs down as well. So once you have eventually connected all of those down, you will see that we actually have a much better picture on what we're building. First of all, we are going to work on the front of the garage. So we are going to remove the grass block in between these rows of smooth quartz and replace those blocks with sea lanterns. We will then place upside down smooth quartz stairs on top of the sea lanterns, like so. And then we want to do something which is kind of tricky. We want to leave 2.5 rows gap. So we want to leave 1 whole block, 2 whole blocks, and then half a block. And then we want to place a smooth quartz slab like this. And this wants to extend through the entire front of the building. So all the way across, just like this. We will then want to place a grey concrete above and behind this. The significance of the grey concrete is where the next level of the parking garage will be. We will then place upside down smooth quartz stairs in front of and above the grey concrete, just like this, just across like so. And then we want to leave another 2.5 rows gap, so 1, 2, half, and then we kind of want to do the exact same thing. We want to cut the front of the building in half by placing a series of slabs, grey concrete above and behind this, and then upside down smooth quartz stairs, just like this, extending all the way across. That's perfect. Which will then lead us up to this point, and hopefully, if we have done this correctly, we should be able to leave 1, 2, half, place a row of smooth quartz slabs across and connecting, and then we should be able to just place another row of grey concrete, just like this, above and behind these smooth slabs. And as you can see, we then already have the upside down stairs at the top of the build, which is perfect. So we have successfully made or marked out where each one of the floors are going to go, which leads us just to the right here. We are going to fill this gap in using smooth quartz all the way up to the top. This area here on the right, I'm just going to begin by just filling it in completely, but it is a little bit different. So, where we have these gaps here on the front of the build, we want to have the same gaps. So, we want to have a 2.5 row gap every time that we have the same thing just to the left, if that makes sense. So it's basically just a series of windows, and once again we kind of want to, it gets a little bit tricky down here at the bottom, but basically if you just leave a gap of 1 from the bottom, because technically speaking, well actually no, because we do have the same windows with these stairs. I was kind of just going off of the fact that this is just a big giant hole, but you can see that we want to have the windows that match just to the left. So this brings us on to this next part. On the right side of the parking garage, garage? Guys, what do you say? In everyday life, I say garage, I don't say garage, but for some reason garage sounds fancier. Whenever I say parking garage, it just sounds better than parking garage. I don't know which one you guys say. I'll probably swap between the two, but parking garage sounds so much better, don't you think? Anyway, the garage, we are going to leave a gap of 4 extending towards the back. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We have our gap of 4, and then we are going to place a row of smooth quartz block right next to the gap of 4. We are then going to fill all the way across to the right in with smooth quartz block. So we're going to leave that gap on the left, and we are going to form a solid wall here on the right. So what we now want to do is this. Underneath this middle window, we have a row of smooth quartz. we want to connect this row of smooth quartz to the giant wall that we have made using a row of upside down smooth quartz stairs. We want to do this here and underneath the top window as well. We also want to place a row of smooth quartz slabs extending from above the window here. So essentially what we are doing, to put it in simple terms, is we are leaving the same amount of gap as these windows have just here on the right, and then we are filling in between all of the other space using a mixture of smooth quartz slab and smooth quartz block, just like this. However, all the way down at the bottom here, we want to leave almost all of this space open. Underneath the stairs, we will have a row of smooth quartz and a row of smooth stone slabs, but this is actually going to be a way to get out of the parking garage, so we need to leave this open. Moving on to the back of the build, the first thing we are going to do is remove this row of white concrete in between these rows of smooth quartz, place sea lanterns in there instead, and then I'm going to fill the entire back of this area in particular in with blue stained glass. I'm also contemplating doing it to the left and right sides. I'm considering destroying these rows and placing sea lanterns and kind of making the entire thing glass. So the reason that I'm considering this is because this is just a set of stairs. We can get all the way up from the bottom and all the way down to the top. I've said that in reverse, but I'm sure that you guys get the idea. We can traverse the whole parking garage with this staircase that is going to sit inside of this area. And I just think it'd be cool to have this be a little bit different than all of the other parts of the garage. Kind of just like a glass elevator sort of feel. Because the entire rest of the back of the build is just smooth quartz. So I think that if we have something that is interesting on this side of the build without having to poke a bunch of holes inside of our parking garage, I think that this is nice and satisfactory. Otherwise, the entire back of the parking garage is just smooth quartz, and I don't know, it's just not that interesting. We could always add some windows and stuff along this back wall. Maybe we'll even consider doing that later when we start building the interior, but I think it's kind of cool just to have a giant glass elevator, but we'll see as we progress along. On the final side of the build here, we are going to leave a gap of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we are going to place a vertical row of smooth quartz block that cuts this half of our parking garage in half. Well, not in half, but you guys get the idea. We are then going to completely fill this right side in using smooth quartz block. Next, come inside the parking garage and extend these rows of grey concrete all the way across to the back of the build. We only have to extend these end blocks, we don't have to extend the whole thing. If we take a look from the outside, this will give us this. We then want to place rows of smooth quartz slab underneath the grey concrete on the outside of the build, just like this. And above the grey concrete, we want to place upside down smooth quartz stairs. So underneath slabs and above upside down stairs, just like this. So from the outside, it will look pretty cool. With the majority of the outside structure of the parking garage made, we are now going to head inside and work on the interior, although we will be back outside later. So first of all, we are going to mark out some walls. The first wall is going to extend from this block here, and we want to place a row of 1, 2, 3 smooth quartz block extending backwards. We can then place 1, 2, 3, 4 smooth quartz block on top of this row, and we are going to extend this up and remove the grey concrete where necessary. We are then going to dig a row of 5 extending backwards from this wall, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we will place a smooth stone in the ends of this empty space with cyan terracotta in between, just like so. We are then going to, on the end here, place a row of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 smooth quartz block extending backwards, and then we will connect to this side wall like this. We then want to add 4 rows on top of this row of smooth quartz as well. 1, 2, 3, we'll remove this 4. We then want to place a row of 5 smooth quartz extending left of this row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We also want to extend backwards by 5 as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we will once again add a row of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 on top, like this. So now we have some walls, which is great. I'm actually now going to remove all of the grass block and any part of the grid that we may or may not have inside of the ground level of our parking garage. Oh look, lava. I think that parking garages are typically built above lava. It's the safest way to store a vehicle, under the constant threat of being swallowed up by liquid hot magma. Next, we are going to grab our smooth stone and we want to place it in a few places. So first of all, we are going to extend this smooth stone out and forwards just in front of the build. We can actually remove these couple of rows in front of the build and we can replace these with smooth stone, just like this. And we can do a similar thing just here on the right side as well. So just in front of this row of smooth quartz, we can just remove this corner area and replace all of this with smooth stone. And then we can just remove these rows and we will fill these in later. But we also want to place a row of smooth stone that extends all the way around and just to the side like this. And as a matter of fact, we are going to want to add another row of smooth stone extending inwards like so. And then we want to place an oak door here, right of this row of smooth quartz block. We then want to place a blue concrete to the right of it, extend forwards by 1, 2, connect back to the wall, stick a sideways facing smooth quartz stair here with an item frame in front and a paper inside of that, blue concrete around the door, extend all the way forwards like this from the top, and then just add a little bit of glass just here. We are then just going to fill, I think that we can actually do this pretty much everywhere on the lower level. We can fill almost all of the empty space that we have dug out with cyan terracotta. There's only a few instances where we might not want to use cyan terracotta, and I'll show you where those are in just a moment. So there's going to be a few parking spaces on this lower level, and the first of which will be behind these upside down smooth quartz stairs, the second will be here, and the other two will be on this wall opposite the other two spaces. So we are going to separate these spaces with a row of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, of some block built either into the ground or on top of the ground. So we can either build yellow wool into the floor, or we can place yellow carpet next to it. It doesn't really matter which one you choose. If you place the wool, however, you will be able to place buttons on the sides of the wheels for the vehicles that will be placed here, which may or may not matter to you. That is the only difference. You have a little bit more flexibility when using the wool. I think that the yellow carpet looks better. Figure out which one you would prefer. I'm going to go with the wool though, and at the back here, in the same position as we have on the front, I'm going to dig a row of 1, 2, 3, 4 and place yellow walls. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 car parking spaces. Next, we are going to make some barriers. So the first barrier extends left of the back corner of this ticket box. We will place a red nether brick wall, followed by a diorite wall, and then a red nether brick wall. This can either be down, or you can place it up as well. It doesn't really matter which one you choose. So let's just say, for the sake of argument, this one is up. And then here on this side, we are going to do the same thing. So we will have another barrier just placed across the... This is the entrance, this is one of the exits. Next, we are going to make the ramp that will lead us up to the next floor of the parking garage. So to do this, we will place a diagonal row of smooth stone that extends up and back towards the parking garage in between these two parallel rows of smooth quartz. We then want to place cyan terracotta extending across and joining to this wall, and then we just have to make one final row that extends from the right, and it just kind of connects diagonally to this block, like so. We also want to replace this cyan terracotta with a smooth stone, and now if we just come up to here, you will see that the smooth stone and the cyan terracotta are on the same level as the grey concrete, which is perfect. As a matter of fact, if you would like to just place an entire horizontal row of cyan terracotta just in between all of the grey concrete, or in between just the entire horizontal plane of this part of the parking garage, then this will actually kind of almost seal up the ground floor from the second floor. The only place that we may not want to do this is just inside of here, and you'll see why in a second when we work on the back part of the ground level. Another place that we don't want to do this, I guess there's quite a few, is we want to leave this area open, and this area open. So let's just drop down into the lower level once again before we move on. And the last thing that we are going to do at the front for the time being is we are going to add smooth quartz slab to the ceiling. So this is just going to cover up the entire next floor, so any sort of wall or cyan terracotta or whatever it is that we are going to be using on the next level, we just want to have it all covered up essentially. So we end up with this really nice smooth finish, and we can place as much smooth quartz slabs as will not get in our way. So as long as we can traverse up and down this place and get where we need to go, then everything's cool. You may want to build some, maybe just a little bit of a light into some of the walls, so like that one sea lantern will actually completely be fine for both the front and back of the build. And this is where we are going to leave this particular level of the car park for now. So next, we are actually going to head back outside and around towards the back of our car park, because we have more than one exit. So first of all, we are going to remove 2 rows along the back wall of our parking garage, just all the way from the exit all the way to this far wall, and we will replace these with smooth stone. We can also replace all of the grass block here with smooth stone as well. So this area here is a stairwell that will take us all the way from the bottom of the garage all the way up to the top, and vice versa. I'm thinking that we have a door positioned, shall we say, here, just on the left. And next to the door, we'll have a couple of rows of light blue glass, and then we'll fill just all the way around the door in using smooth quartz. We could even have glass on the opposite side of the door as well. I don't know whether that looks better or worse, but let's just go with it. So inside here, we are going to have a staircase. So it doesn't really matter how we devise the staircase, but I'm thinking we start here, we place a stone brick stair here with a stone brick behind it, and then a stair here, here, stone brick here, and then a stair here. And we just have to add another door. So if we add a door in the same position as we just have down below, then we know what we're working with, and we can have the glass here, and then we will ultimately have more smooth quartz extending up. But we just need to know what we're working with. So we will have to place a stone brick here, and then a stairs here, and that's actually worked out really well, because this leads us directly to the entrance, and we can just have our stone bricks. And I believe that we will be able to just keep repeating this over and over again, and we will have a staircase that is nice and even up the whole building. And it's kind of cool that well, I'm pretty sure that the other door will be here. We'll place it here anyway, just in case, but it's kind of cool that our staircase starts here and kind of ends where we need to be. And underneath this, and I'll do more of this later as we do build the rest of the staircase, I'm just going to add upside down stairs just to make it a little bit nicer, because we can see the staircase from the outside. So there we go, that's perfect. But regardless, that's a staircase. We'll build the rest of it later. Next, we are going to remove 3 rows of glass in front of our smooth stone path, and we will extend all the way over to this far wall. This back row here is going to be smooth stone, but all of the other destroyed rows will be cyan terracotta. We also have to cover up all of this by placing some smooth quartz block. The only thing I'm not sure about is where to place the lighting, and if we even need a lot of it. So this one sea lantern here should be good, and we have 4 rows to the right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. If we destroy this, place a sea lantern. Oh, that's perfect. So if you basically extend that sea lantern backwards, leave a gap of 4, place another sea lantern, we have perfectly placed light sources, so that's wonderful. So next we are going to place a diagonal row of smooth stone that extends all the way from here all the way up to the next level, and we can remove some of these blocks as well and replace them with smooth stone. So not only do we have car parking spaces up here and around the garage in general, but we also have a footpath as well. So if you place this and then cyan terracotta extending from the smooth stone all the way over to the right, replace these blocks with cyan terracotta as well, and in certain places when we move up here this will all make sense, but this is actually perfect. So all we need to do to just kind of complete this level is, first of all, add the smooth quartz slab ceiling just underneath the cyan terracotta, just like this. So we're just going to cover up all of the cyan terracotta just like so, and I think that is actually the perfect amount. I don't think that we can place any more or any less. And then we just have to make a barrier just on the exit area here, which of course is just a mixture of red nether brick wall and diorite wall like this. And later on we'll be making some machines and stuff as well, but for now that's actually pretty much the entire ground level complete. With the ground level pretty much complete, we are now able to head up to the next floor and begin work here. So the first thing that we are going to do, which will help us not only with this level but all of the other levels, is extend this row of smooth quartz block all the way up until it is even and level with the sides of the top of the parking garage. So all the way up to here. We can do this to a certain extent with some of the other rows as well. So we can actually do this here too. We can extend this part of the smooth quartz row all the way up. And that's where we will probably leave it, just with those 2 rows. But dropping back down to this level, this actually gives us a pretty good idea of where we can go next. So just as with the previous level, we want to have a row of smooth stone that extends along the left side here and then across the back. So the difference being is we just want to have 1 row of smooth stone this time instead of 2 on this level. And we also want to remove 1, 2, 3 smooth quartz here and replace these with cyan terracotta. We then want to place smooth quartz block on top of these smooth quartz blocks. We can even kind of, well, this will affect the outside, so we can't actually do what I was just about to suggest, but we can place a smooth stone here. We could theoretically place like smooth stone here. I actually want to place it like just across the side here. I'd even like to replace the grey concrete with it as well, but in doing that it affects the outside. See, we have the grey concrete here, and if we start placing like smooth stone like at the edges, then it starts to look weird from the outside. But maybe what we could do is maybe we can make a compromise and place like a row of light grey carpet like across here or something like that, so it's not quite smooth stone, but it looks better than just the stark contrast of the grey. I don't know, I'll let you guys ultimately decide that, but I think that's what I'm going to do there. I also have to remove this grey concrete here and replace it with cyan terracotta. We are also going to place in the ground a row of 1, 2, 3, 4 yellow wool here, and I'm going to do the same at the front. So 1, 2, 3, 4 yellow wool here, and here I'm actually going to place smooth quartz. So I'm going to place smooth quartz on top of this row and extend it in an additional block, and then I will extend this up and this will join to the next level. But I also want to extend this smooth quartz row again, kind of just like forwards like this. And it'd actually be helpful to have the entire next level of the parking garage so that we can connect some of these rows up. It'll actually start making a lot more sense. So we are going to make 2 ramps. The first ramp is going to be here. We are going to place a row of smooth stone on this left side, extending from this level up to the next level with rows of cyan terracotta extending across. So we have a small footpath and we have our cyan terracotta. But we also want to have a ramp here as well. So if we just flip over to this side, we want to have a row of smooth stone that extends up to the next level here and sits kind of like parallel to the ramp that we have below us. And we want to have the cyan terracotta extend across, just like this. So this allows us to then place cyan terracotta, and we might just fill the entire ceiling area in. I think that we're just going to fill the entire ceiling area in with cyan terracotta. We can always amend things as we go along, but we essentially just want to give ourselves a confined space to work with. So in between all of the grey concrete that we have kind of like along the outside of the next floor, we're just going to add in the cyan terracotta because I think it will just make things a lot easier. It might also be useful as well to mark out where we have like the smooth quartz, like this row of smooth quartz for instance on the previous level. It will be handy to move this up to the next level as well. And I suppose that this actually also kind of like applies to the smooth stone walkway, because we already placed this door earlier. Like we'll have the smooth stone walkway that will lead all the way across and then forwards, just as we have on the previous level. And you can already see where we have to place it because it just follows the same path as the previous floor. We can add in the smooth stone preemptively, but then we can continue to just fill the rest of this floor in with cyan terracotta. I'm not going to fill any more of the floor in because it will start getting complicated if we start building like 2 floors at once. So let's just drop down back to this previous level, and you'll be able to see that, or at least I think, it's a lot easier now that we kind of have a confined space, because we can now add all of the smooth quartz slab that we need to add, so we can fill most of the ceiling in with smooth quartz slab. There's going to be some obvious places where we can't add it, so like, I think we can add it, no, I don't think we can add it there, but we can add it here. Once again, as long as we can actually get up and down and travel in between the levels, then we're fine in placing all of this slab. Whenever it becomes a problem, and it's easy to find out if it is a problem, as I just did, like if you can't walk in between the floors, then you've placed too much of it. But other than that, if we just fill the entire ceiling in, because it does, it just looks a lot better. You could use a different material if you wanted to as well. You don't have to use these smooth quartz slabs, but I think it's the best tool for the job here. We can place it across here as well. We could even place more of it, but I don't think we will. Like, I did toy with the idea of, let's just place it here first of all. Like, I did toy with the idea of adding, say, smooth quartz stairs to some of this, so like we'd be able to have these stairs all the way up here. And I think that we'd actually be, so like we'd be able to have, maybe you guys do like that more, I don't know. So like here, and then I don't think that that's, yeah, okay, so what do you guys prefer? I think we actually have no, we don't have 2 examples of it. Do you prefer the upside down stairs, or if we do just move around this corner, do you prefer this? I think actually the stairs might look a little bit better. Like, I think that it's just a bit more, I'm going to throw out a word here because it came to mind. It seems a bit more congruous with the rest of the build, but regardless, we are also going to, I kind of like a low wall here, but originally I have a pillar. I think that the pillar looks better. We have all of our pathway, that all looks good. We have marked out car park spaces here and here. We have our smooth stone path here. We may want to add a bit more path around here as well. So this can also be a car park space. We can even kind of like double up on this. We could even add like another row of smooth stone here as well. So we have a car park space. We're also going to add a like a ticket machine here as well. This will be on pretty much every level. We'll find a place to place 1 or 2 of these. But that's looking really good. So I think that I'm also just going to add the smooth quartz stairs as well to why is this not working? Underneath the ramp on this level, and by the end of the build I'll also make sure that this is what we have underneath every single ramp. I just think that looks better. Give it a quick test. We can get up and down it. That's absolutely perfect. And I think that this might actually be this level pretty much 100% fully completed. We've just got to add the remaining smooth quartz slabs. So this is the second story of the parking garage, pretty much 100% fully completed, and this next level is actually going to be almost identical to the level that we have just made. So the first thing that I think I'm going to do on this level is just build the stairs for not only this level, so we have most of this done already, but I'm actually going to add the stone stairs in for the next level as well. So I'm just building these in the exact same manner as I have all of the other stairs. I have to add some smooth quartz just to kind of like facilitate being able to place these blocks. The door will be here, as is consistent with all of the other levels. We'll place the same glass either side of the door, and we'll fill the top of this in. Let's actually go with like smooth stone, like a different material. Let's add smooth stone into the top. And as you can see, the grey concrete here is just underneath the door line, which is perfect. And let's just add the stone bricks in here, and there we go. So one little thing, like I said earlier, I'm going to add all of the upside down stairs in underneath where I think they will look best. That's perfect, because we will be able to see these from the outside, and this is this level, pretty much. That's all of the stairs done for every single level, which is wonderful. So that leads us on to this, and once again, I think that it's probably a good idea to kind of get a lid put on this so that it makes it easier to actually make it. So we're going to add a ramp here on the left side of the parking garage. We're just going to extend and connect cyan terracotta just off to the side. That will make this the kind of like, this will make this the actual like floor level. But we also have to place our smooth stone diagonal row here in between and above where we have the previous ramp. So we will have the row of smooth stone on the left and cyan terracotta just connecting all the way over to the right. So this is the actual floor here. And then I think it is now just, I think it is time to kind of just add all of the other cyan terracotta to this. Now it's a little bit trickier with the roof, so we do actually have access to the roof. There is like roof parking for our parking garage, but we're just going to roughly fill it all in with cyan terracotta, and we'll change whatever blocks we need to afterwards, because it will just make this previous part really easy. So anywhere that it seems it will be a problem, so like we don't want to cover up this. Okay, so this is the top of the garage pretty much done. We'll leave this as it is, and we will drop down onto the previous level now. So the previous level, there's not really too much to do, so we can add a couple of smooth stones just around here, and we can add smooth stone next to this. We can turn this into a vertical pillar. We can grab our light grey carpet, as we kind of did earlier, and we can just add a row of light grey carpet just across the edge there. We can add a row of smooth quartz extending from here and join up. This leaves enough space. We also want to add a footpath extending from here all the way around. We want to have a couple of rows. Oh, okay, we can't replace those end blocks, so let's just turn those back into grey concretes. We can either have like a slightly wider space, or we can have like just a little bit more footpath just here on the side. We're just going to leave this here for now because it's a little bit messy as is, but we'll clean it up when we actually have to, when we make the ticket machines in this area. So we want to create another car parking spot by destroying 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks here, replacing these with yellow wool, and the same extending from this pillar, 1, 2, 3, 4, and placing yellow wool like this. And we can replace the side grey concrete here with cyan terracotta, just like so. And that's almost everything for this level. The only thing that we're going to want to do is make the back of this ramp here smooth quartz, because it does just look so much better, I think. So we'll make this smooth quartz, and we may have to do this here as well. Yep. So we have to do this twice on pretty much every level. We may have even missed it somewhere, but we will go back and we will fix it at a later time. And then we can add the smooth quartz slabs as well. Something that I've only just considered is we may have to add a bit more light. But this is probably easily done with either torches, or there might be just like a sea lantern that we can place somewhere. Most of this is relatively... I mean, we've got windows and stuff, so we probably don't need it. But we'll just see in a second. I actually don't think it's dark enough to warrant any light. I mean, if you guys have ever been in the multi-story car park or parking garage or whatever you want to call it, they're kind of dark and dim anyway, I mean, by nature. So I think that this is actually just kind of like par for the course for this thing. So we are now, with this level of the parking garage complete, we are going to skip our way up to the final level, and there's not too much to do up here. So the first thing that we are going to do is place smooth quartz block here, connecting these two rows together. We are also going to add a path that loops around and joins here. We're going to place smooth stone, destroy all of this, and place smooth stone in the empty space. But I'm realizing in doing that, we actually don't have quite enough room. So maybe we've got to place smooth quartz block here instead. And we can place upside down stairs underneath that, and we can still get up and down, so that's perfect. We've just got to make sure that we've got 3 rows at all times for all of the cars. So there we go, that's wonderful. What we can do though is extend a row of smooth quartz block here, and we can actually remove this portion of the ceiling. So we can replace all of this with nothing, actually. We're not replacing it with anything. We're going to replace it with empty space. Remove onto here, place smooth quartz, and it looks a lot better this way. If you take a look at it from the sky, look at that. That's absolutely wonderful. So now that we have done that, we are going to add a couple of rows of smooth stone just along the back here. And we're just going to have a path leading from the entrance/exit just along the side. And we also just have to grab our yellow carpet and mark out some car parking spaces. So here on the side, we're going to place 1, 2, 3 yellow carpet, maybe even make it 4, so it's a little bit wider, and then we still have our rows of 3. And then we want to extend forwards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then back here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, back here, and then just all the way forwards. And there we have like 3 even nice spaces. And we are going to then have, I think, does this work out nicely? 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to have a gap of then. What will we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we could, oh, okay, we'll do this. 1, 2, 3, 4 right here. So if we take a look at this from the sky, that's absolutely perfect. And then we can actually remove these cyan terracottas here. Replace, can we? Oh no, there is grey concrete on the sides. So we're going to have a ticket machine here. Maybe we'll even just cover up this empty space. We'll have like a double wide or something, so we cover up the grey concrete. But this is pretty much the layout of the roof. That's really cool. Maybe, can we actually extend this another row in here? And then that way we have a row of 3 all the way around. That's absolutely wonderful. There we go. That's so simple. So that's the roof pretty much 100% fully completed, and we've almost done. Next, we are going to come all the way back down to the ground level of our car park, and we are going to make ticket payment machines on every single level. So it makes sense to me that these would be right next to these stairs on every level of our car park. And we're going to go for kind of like a wide design for the machine, okay? So we're going to place a light grey concrete here, smooth quartz stair on top, painting in front, and then we're going to place an item frame in front of light grey concrete, paper inside of it, blue concrete to the right, tripwire hook, and a stone button. There we go. So this is how we're going to pay for all of our tickets, and we are going to place these on every single floor. So the only thing that I don't kind of like is that we don't really have enough room per se. So I'm thinking that we actually add another row of, do I need all of these? Another row of smooth stone like along the back here, and then we can comfortably place our machine just off to the side. So that's exactly what I'm going to do, I think. So, well, that's annoying. So we're going to have the same design for the machine on every single level, and I'm just going to add an extra row of smooth stone, like I said, just so that we've got enough, because otherwise, like, we've got to walk on the road, and we don't really need that 4th row of cyan terracotta anyway. So I'm just going to leave a gap of 1 just right of the door on every single level. add that extra row of smooth stone and everything will look good that way. Just one more level to go and we already have... Oh, okay, so this might be a bit of a predicament actually. Not really, we can just place it here. So we'll place the light grey concrete here, smooth quartz stair, painting. There we go, not a predicament at all actually, it's fine. There we go, perfect. So we have a machine now on every single level. The only thing that I don't really like is that on most levels we kind of have this, right? So we have the smooth stone path and then we have like grey concrete. But I'm not sure that covering the grey concrete looks better. Like, does it look better with the light grey carpet, or does it look better to just kind of just have this? I think that that's something that you're gonna kind of have to figure out for yourself. Really, I'm not really sure what the answer is. Like, I don't know which I like better, that or that. I don't know. I think that I'm just going to have to. I think I might just have to live with this, just having the light grey carpet. It's a little bit less of a stark contrast, but honestly, either leaving it or adding the carpet is just a personal choice. It's up to you. Now, before I end this tutorial, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to show you how to make one last thing which I would consider essential to a car park, and that is cars. You can take any combination of carpet, wool, with glass, glow item frames and stone buttons, and you can make yourself a car that you can literally make in 20 seconds once you know how to do it. Begin by placing 4 wool, add another row next to it, add wool in this position on the top, glass in front, carpet on top, glow item frames at the front of the vehicle with stone buttons on the sides of the vehicle at the front and back. That is the simplest car that you can possibly make. You can also use oak trap doors, but I'm coming around to using stone buttons. I think that they look better. So this is how the car looks from the front. You can make the equivalent car facing backwards as well. So let me just change the walls. We can do the same thing here by placing 2 rows of 4 yellow wool and the wool in this position this time, glass in front, carpet on top, stone buttons like this, and then this time we are not going to add item frames. Or if you did want to add item frames, you could add regular item frames, and then you could add sort of like brake light looking things, so a couple of item frames with like glass pane if you did want to go for like kind of like brake light looking lights that aren't activated. But there you go, car from the front, car from the back. They take up 2 spaces but technically 4 because of the buttons, but you don't have to display the buttons, as you can see, if you don't want to. So you could have them on, you could leave them off, it's completely up to you. You can make them against the wall, you can have it out in the open, you can place the vehicle like so it's poking out a bit if you've had somebody that doesn't really care about parking and other people, or you could just have it like this. So I'm going to absolutely litter this car park with cars. I think that I might actually fill up like 99% of spaces, if not all of them, and then I'll get back to you. So all that is left is to take your newfound knowledge and fill up the entire car park with cars, as many or as few as you would like, in all different colours, in all different positions. I think that that is the best way to use this thing. Don't leave it empty, add cars to it. This is the tutorial 100% fully completed, ladies and gentlemen. However, we must now add our multi-storey car park into our city. So I think that I want to remove and replace some of our modern apartment buildings to make way for our multi-storey car park. It makes most sense to me to have the multi-storey car park in the middle of the city. That is where you would probably want as much vertical car parking space as possible. So here is where it's going to be. I think that this is a wonderful place for it. And that is that, ladies and gentlemen. I do hope that you have enjoyed this video. Please do remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Click that little bell next to the subscription button to ensure that you get all my videos sent directly to your sub box. If you would like to make anything else by me, please check the description below for the mini city builds playlist. We have over 100 builds in there for you to enjoy. Alternatively, the sidebar, hopefully the next upcoming video, YouTube, or just check the channel. Consider becoming a channel member today and you will gain access to a cool avatar next to your name, some unique emojis, and access to my mini city design world containing every single build that has been added to Mini City to date. This is well over 100 builds, all chronologically ordered. Java edition only. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.